So Alex Pereira, the man who beat Israel Adesanya twice, one time by knockout, is going to be making his UFC debut November 6th of this year at UFC 268. Finally, in my opinion at least, there's a man in the middleweight division who could beat Adesanya. I don't think that anybody in the middleweight division at this current time can beat Adesanya. There's just no one who possesses the striking that is good enough to beat Adesanya, and at the same time, Adesanya's takedown defense is pretty solid, at least at middleweight. I mean, when he goes up and fights a bigger person, it's going to be a little tougher to prevent them from taking him down. But I believe at middleweight, there's no one right now. Robert Whittaker can try all he wants. He's not going to be able to beat Adesanya. I think Pereira, as long as he's been working on his grappling, is the only man in the middleweight division in the UFC right now who could beat Adesanya. Now we'll see how Pereira does, because he does have to work his way up. Obviously, he's not going to get a shot at Adesanya right away. But I believe that since Pereira has been training with Glover Teixeira, that he's been working on his grappling. We already know his striking is amazing. I mean, he beat Israel Adesanya twice in kickboxing. He knocked him out one time. I think Pereira is going to fly through the ranks, and I think one of the biggest fights that the UFC can make is Adesanya versus Pereira. Once Pereira gets a few fights under his belt, beats some good people, because I definitely think he is capable of being successful in the UFC. He just has to work on his takedown defense, and if there's nobody in the middleweight division who could beat Adesanya in striking, there's definitely nobody who could beat Pereira in striking, considering he's the only man to have knocked out Adesanya. Pereira does have an MMA record so far of 3-1. He lost his very first fight in 2015 by rear naked choke, and then he won his next three by KO or TKO. And his latest, which came in November of last year, was a crazy check hook knockout. Going backwards, boom, hit the guy with the left hook, knocked him flat out. Fight was immediately stopped. So I just think it's going to be incredible to see how Pereira can climb up the rankings in middleweight division, make his way back up to Adesanya. I think that would be crazy. I would love to see that. And yeah, I'm just really excited for Pereira's career in the UFC.